You alright lads and lasses, JackOps here and welcome back to another episode of Storytime with JackOps. It's been a while since I last done another episode in this series, so I thought it would be a good idea to keep this series fresh and my upload page varied with different types of content. As you'll already know that my content recently has been flooded with GTA Online vehicle reviews. Anyway, in this episode we're going to cover once again another argument with a vegan on Facebook. Only this time, this vegan isn't triggered, they're demonizing. What I mean by that is the fact that this woman commented on a Facebook post basically telling meat eaters that they'll get loads of diseases simply by eating meat. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, but that's the truth, Jack. Well yes, that is the truth. It's only if you eat meat excessively without maintaining a balance between meat, veggies, dairy, fibre and fats in your diet, as well as a decent amount of exercise to go along with your new balanced diet. Plus, I'm mainly pointing out the fact that this woman is pretty much mocking people who don't fancy changing their diet to what she thinks is ideal. That's a dick move if you ask me, as everyone is different to one another and you shouldn't be forcing your ideal down other people's throats. Hopefully that was a decent and not too lengthy introduction to this video. Anyway, let me tell you the background story so that this makes more sense to you. There was once a video on Facebook talking about how there's a restaurant somewhere in London that serves a £145 beef burger and that it's the biggest in Europe. Certainly sounds it too, right? Obviously, this was intended to be eaten by you and a group of pals to eat this beef burger together. And since it has the word beef in the title, there's always going to be that one vegan who comments saying literally how anyone will develop diseases by eating meat, even if it wasn't this burger in particular. From here, I'm going to be showing you screenshots of the argument. I'm also going to address these people by their first names only, and I'll censor their surname and profile picture for privacy reasons. To decrease confusion too, I'm also using different text-to-speech engines for each individual comments, except for me. My voice is good enough.
Good for your heart valves, helps your diabetes to continue developing, adds pounds to your backside, and gives some of you lucky ones a better chance at developing fatty liver disease or MS. Enjoy!
I mean, I can avoid all that by, wait for it, exercising. Unreal, right? Never heard of it.
You have to eat healthy, you can't just exercise.
Meat is healthy, there's an entire science behind it, but Facebook isn't the place to talk about it. Obviously in moderation also, humans are omnivores for fuck's sake, veganism is unnatural.
Well, I am unlikely to get heart disease, diabetes or MS or cancer because of the way I eat. You can't say that. And yet, we hear of athletes who drop dead because of heart disease or various cancers, and what you ignore is that athletes who don't eat that stuff have better recovery times, maintain and grow muscle equally well, and are less likely than you to get any of those diseases. Meat does not do the body good. In fact, within a couple hours, it begins a cascade of inflammation starting in your gut and spreading everywhere. And then just about the time that low-level inflammation is subsiding, you have lunch. And if it's more animal product, including milk or eggs, your tissue begins reacting to that salt all over again. So basically, your body exists in a state of chronic inflammation. And disease goes hand in hand with inflammatory processes. Are you still waiting for it?
Deborah, of course it's bad for you if you eat the entire £145 burger yourself, and that's if you're able to.
Jack, if you eat any of it, it's bad for your body. Here's an interesting fact. Drop the meat and dairy from your diet and heart patients, diabetics, cancer patients, MS sufferers, and the disease goes away. But eat the stuff and the outcome is the beginning and continuation of inflammation throughout your body, which sets the stage for heart disease, diabetes, MS, cancer. Why would you choose to eat something that creates and supports disease?
Please shut up.
Deborah, nearly everything nowadays has a risk of causing diseases, including vegetables. Now, it is true that meat and dairy can be bad for you in the long term, if you don't consume meat and dairy products in moderation. Deborah, here's another interesting fact. People tend to dislike you more if you're trying to metaphorically shove your ideals, e.g. diet and lifestyle, down other people's throats.
Oh well. The doctor who first insisted that other doctors wash their hands after touching corpses in the morgue and then going in to examine women in labor was also roundly castigated by his peers. Common sense isn't so common, is it, Jack? Your lifestyle is violent and abusive. It causes horrific suffering, and you are an active participant in that suffering as an end user. I used to be an active participant just like you. But I finally decided that I'm a better person than that and chose to not be the cause of animal suffering. Meat and animal products cause the terrible diseases we all fear. With cancers of all sorts on the rise, diabetics everywhere and numbers growing, obesity climbing through the roof and all the other diseases, and you still opt to be part of the suffering that only causes more suffering. Very sad that you value life and health so little. My cousin suffered from MS for years. Sometimes blind, sometimes unable to walk, pain and discomfort, and yet, if he'd dropped the meat and dairy, none of that would have happened to him.
Are you sure you haven't confused the definitions of lifestyle and diet? You're saying that my lifestyle is violent and abusive makes me sound like a terrible person, of which I'm not. The reason why many non-communicable diseases, e.g. diabetes and cancer, are on the rise is because of the availability and cost effectiveness of fast food. It's obvious to most Westerners nowadays that eating too much fast food is bad for you. It also doesn't help that fast food is widely available and often cheaper than cooking a meal at home. This makes fast food more attractive to people who fancy something to eat in their free time when they've just been out shopping, for example. It's also more attractive to less privileged people who couldn't afford to cook a meal themselves or eat out at a locally owned restaurant. During the global recession back in 2008, McDonald's was one of the only companies to continue growing during the recession, most likely due to the company's availability and cost effectiveness. Believe it or not, in some sections of the world, some communities are still feeling this effect. Say if we as a society lived in a world where fast food never existed, or at least it could be restricted, and where wealth is evenly distributed among the population, then perhaps people would be more aware of their health and well-being. As a result, diseases like diabetes wouldn't be as common, so please take these facts into consideration and stop attempting to demonize individuals who have different preferences to you.
Nobody cares, Deborah.
We all die anyway. Get out of here.
Check Deborah out thinking she'll live to 200. Trying anything and everything to get those extra seconds. If I drink 30 cups of water and only eat 3 leaves, I'll live so much longer.
Rad, oh my gosh, what a horrible thought, living to 200. I'm hoping to cash out when I'm 90. But until then, I'm extremely unlikely to suffer from heart disease or cancer or MS or diabetes. You on the other hand, Rad, can't make the same assumption. Which of those issues seems to run in your family, and that's going to give you an idea what you have to look forward to.
Yeah, and I'll bet you have the loneliest front hole in the 8-state area.
You see, she can't suffer from cancer if she already is cancer.
Anyway, that pretty much just wraps up the entire story. It's been a week and nothing else has happened, so I'll just end it here. If you disagree with anything I said in this video, feel free to criticise me. Also, comment on the video and don't call me. I'm talking about you, Joseph. That's all I have time for today. If you've enjoyed the video, please be sure to like, subscribe, and don't forget to share this video. Also consider liking my Facebook page, follow me on Twitter, joining my Discord server, and clicking the little bell icon for notifications on my latest videos. This is JackOps, signing off.